Oh, sure, Black Josh.
Everybody to another episode of Stardom. I'm your host, Jukebox Ginger, and we're live here in the lounge with my special guest, Shortblokejosh. Josh, how the hell are you, man?
Yeah, doing good. How you going?
Good, man. It's 7:45 in the morning here, so I am just now drinking my coffee, and then after this, I gotta get ready for work. So.
Well, it's almost 11 p.m. here, and I'm just having a green tea or 2 tea bags, but getting ready for bed almost.
Do you drink coffee? I drink a lot of coffee, more than I do tea.
No, I'm a social drinker of coffee. Like if I'm on a date or on a business meeting, I love a coffee, but otherwise it's just green tea for me or water.
Yeah, I do like green tea, but I usually drink it cold.
Oh yeah. No, I'm a hot green tea drinker.
So, man, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, coincidentally, you did say little, and I am little. I'm 4'6" or 4'7" when I got hair on my head. But I'm a dwarf bloke, or a bloke that's got dwarfism, which is achondroplasia dwarfism and I'm Melbourne. Sorry, I can't even speak. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I'm somewhere between 35 and 40. I just stopped counting a few years ago. Lost count. But I'm a comedic entertainer. I do all sorts of entertainment-based gigs, from emceeing events to dressing up in random costumes to like TV work, mostly stage work, private events, all sorts.
So you do stand-up comedy, like on stage and stuff like that?
Yes and no. Like, I don't have my own act, like with my name in flashing lights as such, but I do it with other people involved, like as group acts and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. How did you decide that was something that you wanted to do?
I kind of sort of fell into it, but it's always been something that I've done all my life. Like, ever since I was a young tacker in hospital, the student nurses would come in, like there'd be a group of them, and I'd be sitting there just banging out jokes. I'd be 6 years old saying silly things or deliberately falling out of bed just so that they would laugh and whatnot. I was always trying to make people laugh and just happy and smile.
Yeah, and you do, man. These clips that you post that I see on Instagram and TikTok are hilarious. The throwing the stick in the water, the tampon joke. I mean, that's just hilarious. Is that stuff that you just kind of create on your own, or do people give you ideas? Or
yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Like, sometimes I'll see something that someone else has done and I'll put my own spin on it. But then there's other times where it's just like something just comes straight to my head and I'm just like, all right, I've got to whip out my phone, got to pull it up in front of my face, say something, do something, whatever it is, and then get it out there to the masses. And then there's times also too where, like, I've got a lot of stuff where I just keep it to the stage. I can't say it on social media because otherwise, like, in this day and age, cancel culture. But at the same time, I've also got to save some for the stage as well. I can't just be putting it all out online, otherwise I don't get paid.
That's true. Do you actually make money on TikTok and Instagram? I know some people do, some don't.
Yes and no. Some weeks I can make a fair bit, and then other weeks it's just the way the algorithms work. Some weeks it's like, yeah, you can make a fair bit, and then other weeks it'll just be like, nah, sorry buddy, you've got to go beg for money now, type thing.
Yeah. Man, I've only been on TikTok since I started doing this podcast stuff, so about a year and a half. I'm just broke 1,000 follows, so I'm getting there. I've had some pretty big name people on, and it's just fun to talk to people like you that chances of us meeting are very slim. I've never been to Australia. I've never left the United States, so I'm actually smack dab in the middle. I'm in Kansas, so
yep.
So are you considered in the city, or are you outside the city?
I'm this sort of fringe suburbia. Like, I'm like on the fringe of the metropolitan area, and then like you literally could throw a stone from my house and it is country area. Yeah. So I'm right on the fringe.
Suburbs here, you hit the suburbs and it gets rural, then it goes urban. It's all country eventually. So yeah. So you guys have a lot of wildlife that we don't have here. I know that kangaroos, for example, I know that they're actually they were chosen to be the coat of arms because they can't walk backwards. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
I didn't know they couldn't walk backwards.
Yeah, them and the emu, both of them, they can't walk backwards. So it's a sign of that, like, always moving forward. Like, the country is always progressing, always moving forward. Although in recent years, I'm not too sure, but I won't go into
that's
that.
that's the whole world, though, man.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like since COVID hit the whole world, it's like everything's like jumbled and nobody knows where to go.
yeah, exactly.
So do you have to deal with like a lot of kangaroos around there? I don't know much about them besides what I see on TV. I mean, are they really vicious or are they nice?
Oh, they can be. They can be both. They can be vicious and they can be nice. They're mostly vicious only when they're sort of protecting their young, or if you get too close to them. If they feel um, intimidated by you, they will sort of fight you off and try and get you away from them. But 90 times out of 100, they will not touch you.
Oh,
They most of the time they'll actually even be scared of you. They'll move away from you, or they'll just be sitting there just watching you go past. They're not bothered by you.
yeah.
You just get one cranky one, or if they're in breeding season, then that's when you've got to just be bit wary of them.
And then you mentioned emus too, and aren't they overpopulated there? There are a ton of them.
There is a lot of them. I'm not too sure about that overpopulation side of things, but there is a lot of them. We actually lost a war against them. Australia went to war against the emu,
I remember that.
and we lost the war against them. That's how, like, yeah, crazy it is.
I actually mentioned that in one of my shows before. I was looking up like weird wars, and that was one of them.
Yeah,
and wasn't it like citizens and like the government were all trying to kind of battle them and drop the
pretty
population?
much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the emus were just like, nah, who cares? We're just letting the bullets just fly off them. Yeah.
I've never, the only time I ever see emus or kangaroos around here are just in the zoo. We don't.
Yeah.
They're not just out in the wild. So I actually did have an experience with dingoes. I do know that you guys have like the world's longest fence, and it's because it's for dingoes, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, we got like a rabbit-proof fence, and we got a dingo fence, and the dingo fence pretty much stops the dingoes from getting into our most populated cities up the south and east coast of Australia.
Why?
And
Why
yeah,
is that? Like, why do they not want them in the cities?
I'm not entirely sure of the facts side of things, but I would hazard a guess because it's so populated, they don't want them. I think there was a lot of farm life as well. I was trying to protect as well. And also the area also that they're protecting is the Great Dividing Range as well, which is heavily populated with like a lot of like kangaroos, koalas, all sorts of stuff. And I guess they might have been eating those as well, so they're trying to protect those as well, maybe.
Yeah, we were at a petting zoo and they had dingoes, and we were sitting down petting them. It was my wife and me and the kids, and I didn't realize it, but I had my keys on my belt loop, and one of the dingoes was on the side of me the whole time, and it was just tearing the keys apart. Like it was one of those little push key buttons, just totally tore it apart, and I had no clue. They were so quiet about it. I was like, these sly bastards.
Yeah, they are sneaky. They are, and they can work in packs and all sorts. They can like distract you. One or two of them will distract you, while, as you said, one of them will be behind your back doing anything, whatever it likes to you.
What is do you guys have those as pets around there? Like, do you know friends or anybody that have like dingoes or anything as pets?
You're not meant to have a dingo itself as a pet, but if there are mixed breeds that people have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the dingo itself, you're not meant to have a pet because it's a like a wild. It's technically classed as wildlife, so you need like a wildlife license for those sort of things. And the only people that get wildlife licenses usually are people with big properties that own sanctuaries and stuff like that. So yeah, like with those, they're just generally a wild animal that you leave wild. But yeah, a lot of people though that have like crossbreeds, like a dingo crossed with a staffy or something, and I don't know whether that would be one, but yeah. Like
I have a blue heeler Australian cattle dog, And I
Yep.
mean, that thing is so smart. I didn't have to train him at all. Like he just
Yeah.
naturally, as he got older, just wouldn't leave the fence. If we're outside, he'd walk right next to me. Super smart dogs.
They are, and they can run for miles. That.
Oh my god, he could. We have a 6.5 foot fence in our backyard. I mean, it's a big fence, and he can clear that if he wanted to.
Yep.
He's got some height to him. So I noticed about you is that you use the fact that you are, dwarfism to your advantage when you do comedy, and I think that's awesome. You get a lot of people that get offended and stuff like that. Is that something that, like, when you're out in public, that affects you at all? Like, do people, offend you about your height at all?
I barely, if ever, get offended at anything. Like I've been brought up, and I've always seen myself as who I am and what I
Uh-huh.
am, and I know that I'm a dwarf, and that's never going to change. So
Mhm.
rather than crying about that or complaining about what I don't have, I should embrace what I do have and
Mhm.
use it to my advantage. And if that means making people laugh at me at my expense, I'm all for it, because it means people are happy, people are smiling, and
Yeah.
whatnot. And I would rather people come up and talk to me than tread stones or tread, like, you know what I mean, like walk around me and avoid me just because they think they might offend me.
Oh,
I
100%.
Yeah, like I would rather people. I don't mind if they point and say, "Oh, there's a dwarf," because yeah, I am different.
Right.
Just as long as I can turn around to them and point at them and say, "Yeah, there's a weird looking bloke with one eye missing or glasses or something," but I wouldn't
Right.
do that. But you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's just I'm not overly fast.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't, I mean, I get people that give me crap about being a ginger, but not that much.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
redhead,
no,
redhead.
yeah,
But I don't. I like to make a fool of myself. It's it's a big part of
yep.
what I do on here, and I'm an idiot a lot of the times, so it's something to embrace, and
It,
there's a comedy aspect to that too.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. If you take advantage of what you do have and you run with that, then your life is going to be so much easier and so much better and so much more enjoyable. If
Mhm.
you sit back and you worry about what people are going to think about me because I'm different, or what people are going to think about me because just because I stand out from the crowd. Like, it's like, well, would you rather stand out from the crowd and be unique, or would you rather blend in, be boring, and not like be remembered, not leave a
Mhm.
legacy or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you made a name for yourself. I mean, you're all over social media now, so I mean, you
yeah,
got followers all over the world.
that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Mhm. Have you traveled at all, or you've only been in Australia?
No, I've been to the States a few times, and I've been to Europe and Dubai, and obviously, like, yeah, all around Australia as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I need to get to traveling because I
Yeah,
had kids and I just don't. I
yeah.
work and I come home. That's all I do. I do this.
Well, once you get that travel bug, once you travel once, you'll get that travel bug, and
Uh-huh.
you won't want to, like, well, you want to come home obviously to your own bed, but afterwards you'll
Yeah,
be like, all right, let's book the next trip. Let's get to the
yeah.
yeah.
What's one of the craziest places you've been to?
Dubai was pretty crazy. It was pretty, but it was also a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Quite pricey. Also Vegas. Vegas was quite wild.
Yeah,
Um,
Vegas is crazy.
I managed to spend a whole week there without gambling, which was crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
I've heard, and I say I
yeah,
heard because I don't know for sure, but I've heard that Australians have the highest population of gamblers.
yeah. We have a pokey, or what we call pokies or poker machines. We've got the highest per person capita poker machines per person or whatever.
Mhm.
And they're just about in every pub here in Australia. Like, it's crazy, yeah. And they just suck your money. They just literally just suck your money.
Mhm.
Uh,
No, and you said you didn't gamble the whole time you were in Vegas?
yeah, the only time I did is I had a couple of crumpled up US $1 bills, and it was like my last day in Vegas. I was like, oh well, I'll just chuck them in the poker machine, and there was $3, and I won like 30 cents or something. I just left it in the machine. I thought, some lucky American local or some old lady, she can have that 30 cents. So be
Uh,
it. Like, I just
how,
wanted to
how
get rid of the crumpled notes.
how'd you end up going to Vegas? Just a random trip?
Yeah, I went on a sports trip with mates, and we were following the basketball and the ice hockey around, and we decided to stay in Vegas for a week and just explore. Went and saw a couple of shows, and like I went and met up with Rick from Porn Stars and all that sort of stuff. Did all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and it's just explored the place. Like, it was really good. We were there when uh, what's it called? The uni, no, not the uni, college basketball finals were on,
Yeah,
and that was
NCAA, something like that.
yeah,
NCAA.
yeah, and that was crazy because downstairs at the where the gambling parties, what you guys call, I don't know what you guys call it, but where everyone chucks their bets on, that was
Yeah.
absolutely mental. But it was awesome atmosphere. Like, I was getting drunk with people at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Bloody, I didn't even know before, and I didn't know nothing about their college ball or anything. But next thing you
Mm.
know, I'm a Duke fan, and then the next night I'm a whatever fan. I was just following all these different teams that whoever they were on. I was just, yep, all right, let's get on them.
So when I was in Vegas, I remember I was drunk in one of the casinos, and they announced on the news that they had just caught Osama bin Laden. So this was
Oh,
several years ago. It's been
yeah,
a
yeah.
while, and I was so drunk I thought they said Obama. So, so I'm like, what? Freaking out, and it took about 10 minutes before I realized that it was Osama bin Laden. People were like, "What are you talking about, man?" Um, so I do know I well, again, assumptions, but I saw that you guys, Australia does every year they do a cockroach racing competition. Is that correct too?
I believe so. Yeah, I haven't had any involvement with it or anything like that, but yeah, there
That's
is.
weird. That's
We
weird.
in Melbourne specifically, but Australia wide, we are very sports centric, and Melbourne especially, we call ourselves the sporting capital of the world. We will literally watch, as you said, the cockroaches like thing. We will watch snail races. If they put snail races on the TV or put it at one of our arenas, there will be a crowd there to watch it because we just love anything that's sports related down here in
Yeah.
Melbourne.
So is there a lot of like betting and gambling on every sport too?
Yep, yep, and not just like your head-to-heads and things like that. They do all these different fantasy bets as well. Like, such and such will kick a certain amount of goals, while at the same time this person will tie up their shoelaces in the third quarter of this game. It's like, quite literally, like, they make up all these fantasy bets and people will bet on them.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
That is funny. Yeah, we don't do that. I mean, when I say we, I mean I don't. But I'm sure there's some
yeah.
people around here that are super into it to do that kind of stuff too. Do you guys follow like NFL, like the football and all that stuff too?
It's actually getting quite big over here in Australia.
Mm.
I've followed it for going on about 20 years now, I reckon. I'm a Green Bay Packer fan.
Oh, nice.
So back, I think it was about 1997 when they won it. I That's the year I sort of jumped on. I knew nothing of the sport, and they chucked it on the TV, and I saw the green and gold, and I was like, that's the same color as Australia, like our sporting thing. So I'll just jump on them. And then ever
Mm.
since then, I just followed them, and they ended up winning that game, the playoff, the Super Bowl,
That's awesome.
and yeah,
We have the Kansas City Chiefs, so Patrick Mahomes, and we won
yeah,
a couple years back here, so it's a lot of fun. We definitely celebrate our teams around here a lot, especially NFL. I think is the biggest one, and then you got your baseball too. So
yeah, yeah. What you guys would class as like, yeah, NFL, but that's our AFL here, as in like how big it is.
oh
Like, and
yeah.
then our next biggest would be like your rugby league,
Mhm.
and then cricket.
And rugby's not really. I mean, it is big here, but not to the level of our football and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I think because it's too similar to NFL, it's
yeah,
probably takes a bit of it away.
that's probably because you can see it on like ESPN, but it's like on one of those extra channels. It's not like the basic main one. It's like ESPN 3 or 2 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, and you only really tune in if you're actually interested in it. You're
Hmm.
not looking out for it. Yeah.
Hmm. All right, so I did tell you I got some list of slang words here, and I think they're pretty funny. Like, what is akadaka?
Akadaka is one of the best bands of all time. That is AC/DC. Uh, Thunderstruck,
Uh-huh.
all that stuff. Can't remember all their songs, but one of their songs that I love of theirs is just called "Big Balls," and
Yeah.
it is the because it is a play on words the whole time, but
Yes.
it is classic. But yeah, Akadaka is AC/DC.
So I'm curious, why did it become Akadaka? Do you know, or has it just been that way?
It's just they've been around since before I was born. So, and that Akadaka is all I've known them as is Akadaka.
Because around here, obviously, they are ACDC, and that's all we call them. Do you guys have shirts there? Do you have? Are there shirts there that say Akadaka?
Yep.
That's funny. The Aussie salute.
The Aussie salute. Now, like that. Was that?
On here it says it's waving to scare away flies.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. I wasn't too sure if you were meaning the rude one or just the
Oh, is that a rude thing too?
like, yeah. Well, no, because you could do it like you do it to your mates as well. If you see a mate, you just go hey, but then if you see like if you're in a car road rage or something, you go yeah up yours type thing. But it's literally it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, depending on context.
And I feel like a lot of it because one of my coworkers went to Australia and was what did he do? He skydived while I was there, but he said that it's so funny when you go in places because you can't tell if you're being offended or not because of your slang.
yeah, a lot of our slang is like that because we will say things and it's like literally just us being laid back casual Australians. But at the same time, we could really be insulting you. But like it just depends on the context.
I think of it like if you ever go, like if I take my wife to get her nails done or something, in the stores, and the Asians that are working in there will be talking about you in their language, and you think they're talking, you're like, I know they're talking about me, but you don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So what's a bogan? What is a bogan?
You're looking at it. It is well. It's literally similar to what you guys would call like a redneck. It is your most usually a white person, a white guy, or a Sheila or like a female, and they might have a mullet. I don't have any hair, so I don't have a mullet, but they might have a mullet going. They like their beer, they like their sport. They've usually got a bit of a gut, not always. They've got tattoos. A lot of bogans will have the Southern Cross tattoo either on their arm or whatever. That like if anyone that's got a Southern Cross tattoo on their arm or whatever, if you see them, they are a definite bogan. They might tell you they're not, but they are.
No, because you guys, I mean, you're not very populated, and most of the country is just out. I mean, a good chunk of it is just outback, right?
Yep.
And people actually choose to live in the outback. Like I couldn't.
Yeah, there is the odd few that live in the outback, but it's something like 80% of our or 90% of our country lives on the coastline, and then like more than half live up there south and east coast of Australia.
So it's like polar opposites. Like there's a good chunk up north and a little bit on the south side.
There's literally Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane are our three most populated cities, and they're all up the east coast. And then you've got the little amount in Perth, which is on the opposite side on the west, and then you've got a little amount in the middle in Adelaide, and then the rest of Australia pretty much is just desert.
And you guys have like the most populated like venomous animals in the world too.
Yeah, like it's something like nine of the top 10 snakes or something, deadliest snakes, and I think it's like 8 of the top 10 spiders or something in the world as well.
Do you guys have to get like vaccines or anything like yearly to prevent that?
Nah. We're just like, oh well, if it happens, it happens. Shit happens. Type thing.
If I die, I die. It is what it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
Most we get around here is your tornadoes, and then I think we have like water moccasins or like and rattlesnakes are the worst ones for us. Water moccasins, you get bit, you got like 30 minutes to get to the hospital and get a vaccine. So.
Yep. Yeah, we've got. You can go for a swim up north, and if you don't get bitten by a crocodile or a shark, you might get bitten by an irukandji, which is the smallest of small like jellyfish, and it is deadly.
It's called a what?
An irukandji.
Never heard of it.
Nah, you wouldn't see it either. It gets you, and yeah, I think that's similar. You've got like 30 minutes or half an hour or an hour or something to get to the hospital, and even then, you're not guaranteed to be rescued.
Damn, that's crazy. And you got crocodiles too. I didn't know you had crocodiles down there.
Yeah. Our northern part of Australia, like northern half, is pretty much infested with crocodiles, both saltwater and freshwater. And our our Northern Territory, it's got a newspaper called NT News or something like that, and it literally has a story in it every single day on its front page about a crocodile. Um, it reminds me a lot of Florida, where with their alligators, but it literally like any day they don't have a crocodile on their front story on their front page, something massive must have happened in the world. Like I think the last time they didn't have a crocodile on there might have been the day that Russia invaded Ukraine, and even then they still might have had like the smallest of crocodiles. I don't remember, but yeah, it just takes something huge for them not to.
Right.
And it's always like some guy's gotten eaten by a crocodile, or someone's captured one, or someone's ridden one. They're really really crazy in the territory. They're like Florida people from Florida. They will literally ride them. They will. They do wacky stuff up there.
Yeah. Have you ever ridden a crocodile?
I've not. I have had a baby one on my head.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I am curious. So is that skin used, like, do people hunt crocodiles and use their skin for like to make clothing? Like, is there?
It got like outlawed here. I think the local indigenous can still do it, but just about everyone else cannot. I don't think, from memory. I'm pretty sure it's just been outlawed because none of the skin's been used. Like everything here is plastic. Everything's here is just like throwaway stuff type thing. No fur, no nothing like that anymore.
Yeah. And that's even straws. Like, I mean, where I work, we give out straws, but they're like paper. So like if you put it in the cup, within minutes it's falling apart. You know.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. What is a buggy smuggler? A budgie smuggler?
A budgie smuggler. Yeah, that is. All right. Think of when you go to the beach, right?
Right.
You're going to put your bathers on, but your bathers are going to be your underwear.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your underwear bathers. What the budgie smuggler side of things is if you think about your front package, what that looks like. It looks like a budgie is being smuggled in there, and that's where it's come from. Yeah.
So like the Speedos, is that what it is?
The Speedos. Yeah.
Okay. That's just hilarious. Like Speedo, that there's nothing funny about Speedo. Budgie smugglers sounds a lot more interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
I did see something about your former prime minister has the world record for the most alcohol drank in like the shortest time, like 2.5 pints in 11 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, good old Bob Hawke. He was a bit of an alcoholic, but he was a womanizer and all that sort of stuff and whatnot. But he loved his beer. He loved his beer. Even at sporting events, someone would give him a full beer and he would literally scull it on. There's footage of it on YouTube and everything.
The skull it mean like slam it, drink it real fast.
Yeah. Sorry, sorry. That's an Australian term. Yeah, scull it down, finish it within one gulp type thing.
And I also know, so I know that this is offensive, cunt, but there it's not necessarily meant to be offensive, right?
Yeah, no, you can again. It's like the middle finger. It's like it comes down to context. If you could say, yeah, you're a good cunt, and that's being okay. But if you say like, oh mate, you're an effing cunt, like you're literally abusing someone. But it depends on context again, because you could be saying it to your mate, and your mate, like you again, you're being
Mm-hmm.
like throwing banter at each other. But like again, road rage, it's offensive. But not road rage, it's not.
That's isn't that it's crazy, man. That all around the world, that same words can mean totally different things.
Yeah.
Like if you came here and said that, even if you were trying to be nice, you might get punched in the face by a woman.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. When I was actually, it happened to me every time I've gone to America. But when I go there and I need to go to the toilet, I'll go, oh, can I use your dunny? Because dunny is an Australian word for toilet.
Yeah.
But even then they'll be like, dunny? And I'll be like, oh, toilet. And they'll be like, toilet? And they'll be like, oh, sorry, can I use your bathroom? Oh, bathroom. Well, so it takes me 3 steps to get there because I'm just that's switched on just to say dunny all the time.
Yeah.
I just say dunny. And
well, that's a culture you're raised in, though.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If I was to come there and say bathroom, though, a lot of people would probably look at me weird, right?
Well, no, because we would understand that you need the bathroom, like that. But we would guide you to where our bath and shower is, not where our toilet is.
Yeah, because really, it's a restroom here. It should be a restroom. Everybody just calls them bathrooms.
Yeah.
What is some weird phrases that you can think of that can be very offensive here that you guys say there all the time?
Bugger.
A bugger?
Bugger. 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 Like, or I'm buggered.
Yeah.
To bugger something is like to go up someone's bum hole. That is the offensive term for it. But here, but when we say bugger, we were like bugger like is another word for say shit or I'm exhausted. Like so, I'll say like I'm buggered and whatnot. If I say in America, if I said I'm buggered, and especially people that are like might be highly religious, they will literally turn around to me and say you are offensive because they think I'm saying I'm up the ass and but it's just an Aussie word that a lot of us use and we just use it just in everyday language,
right? And what Darty? Never heard Darty before.
Darty?
Yeah, like Dardy. Dardy. No.
Darty. Nah, not too
says
sure about that one.
Southern Australian, like Aboriginal people use it for cool or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's I don't use it, but yeah, I believe they do. Yeah, I'm not that common, like I'm not knowledgeable on that. Yeah.
What is that like when they say Aboriginal? What does that mean? Like people in the outback that like are.
That's our First Nations people, our indigenous people,
kind of like our Native Americans here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the ones that were here before the Europeans come along and decided to shoot them up and unfortunately wipe out half of their population and take over. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close to the same here. We did the same thing.
Pretty much the same country too that did it too.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, and who are you guys are British, like a British owned country, right?
Well, we were, and then we became our own independent country in 1901, and then we're still part of the Commonwealth, but they literally couldn't. They wouldn't. They have no word over what we do here. We're our own standalone country. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about "fuck me dead"? Have you heard that one before?
Yeah. That's another one where you go like if you asked me something to do something and I just thought, oh, that's really hard and I can't be bothered doing it, like I really couldn't do it, I'll just be like, oh, fuck me dead, oh man, type thing. Or like if you were saying something that's totally above expectations, I'll just be like, oh, fuck me dead, type thing.
Yeah, here people will be like, Are you sure? Is that really what you want? Or walking down the Vegas Strip, you'd probably get some looks from some women.
Oh yeah.
So man, I'm curious. The name Short Bloke. Did you just kind of go with it? Because Shortblokejosh being like your social media name, obviously it's very simple, but at the same time, what made you decide that name?
Just randomly one day, probably about 10 years ago, I was like, I used to be known as 4 foot giant, and it was like a bit of an oxymoron. So 4 foot, like I'm 4'6", but 4 foot, and then giant. So it was a bit of an oxymoron. And then one day, I tried to sign up for something, and it didn't work. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to think of something else. And I was like, well, I'm short, I'm a bloke, and my name's Josh, so I may as well just go with that. And it worked. And then I forget what site it was on, and then everyone was just like, "Hey, that's a cool name. That's a cool name. That's a cool name." And
Yeah.
so from there, I just went, "All right, all my socials, I'm going to change them to Short Bloke Josh from there." And then just I've changed my stage name to it. I've changed everything to it, like because it literally is self-explanatory.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's great. You guys have these very unusual animals called platypuses there too, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Didn't they ship one off to like England or something like that, and they thought it was a joke.
Yeah. Yeah. They thought the people that shipped it back had taped a couple of different animals together to make that animal as a joke. They thought there was science labs here or whatever making them and whatnot, but because they're like I don't know, they're a mix between like a squirrel and a duck and a fish and like they're all sorts of different animals just all blended into one. And they've actually got sharp teeth too. You don't want to be bitten by them. They can make you sick apparently.
Oh really?
Yeah, from what I've heard, like I've never been bitten by one, and I wouldn't pick one up either. But they've got sharp claws and apparently sharp in their teeth.
I don't know that I've ever seen a platypus besides on TV. I knew they had like these massive bills and stuff. Are they pretty small all around though? Or they're not very big?
No, yeah, they're smaller than a foot. Like they're
oh wow,
quite, like yeah.
So you could walk in the woods and find them, or they would find you.
Yeah, no, they're more of a water based things. Like they do stay sometimes out of the water, but they're mostly in creeks and stuff like that. Like they're more in specific areas where they've got fish that they can catch and stuff like that.
You got crocodiles, sharks, platypuses, just snakes. That's an insane amount of like just wildlife that you don't want to deal with.
Yeah, we've also got a couple of frogs here too that are venomous as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what kind of frog? Are they big, small? I mean, there's all sorts of sizes of frogs.
I couldn't tell you the thing. I just remember seeing something about like us having frogs here that are venomous as well. And we've also got like seashells that like I think they're fish as well or something. But if you stand on them, they can make your feet go all purple, like because of the venom that are in them.
You got me caught up on those little jellyfish. I mean, we just went to Florida about a month ago, and I'm like, oh, man, this creepy little jellyfish.
Yeah,
I do. I mean, I know that most of them around here they sting you. You just piss on them. Piss where it stung you, and you'll be all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got those as well. We got the blue bottle. Are they blue bottle? Whatever they're called. The box jellyfish. We got them, but yeah, then it's the irukandji that are the most deadly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do know that you refer to McDonald's as Macca's.
Yeah. So much so that they've also changed their branding here. Their website is maccas.com.au. I think one of their social medias is Maccas. Like they've taken it on board as well.
No, that's funny.
Yeah.
You guys abbreviate literally everything.
we either abbreviate it or we extend it. So like if your name's Dave. AC/DC becomes Akadaka or Dave becomes Davo sort of thing, as opposed to just Dave or
What about I know mongrel is just somebody that's a dick, right? Somebody who's an asshole.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Or someone that's got a bit of grunt to them. You can say, oh yeah, they've got mongrel in them. But you could say if you're calling them like a dirty mongrel, then they're being a dick to you type thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Manchester's meant like you guys use that for like linen and your sheets and
Yeah.
furniture, or just sheets and bedding.
Mostly just the bedding and sheets and stuff like that. But yeah.
Let's see, a shark biscuit.
Shark biscuit. Just trying to think how to explain it. What
No.
have you got for there? Did
It
tell
just
you
says
what it is?
all it says is kids at the beach.
I think it's just. I think from memory, I think it's just if you're the kid that's the furthest out, the deepest out, you're the shark biscuit.
Oh, so it's like
When
referring to like the one that's gonna get bit first in a
yeah,
situation
pretty
kind of
much.
thing.
I'm pretty sure it's something like that. Yeah, I don't use it generally. I think it's more of a northern Australia term.
Mm-hmm. And I know like we do personal days here, like where if you just don't want to go into work, we just say, hey, I want to take a personal day or a sick day. You guys call them sickies.
Yeah, sickie. Yeah. We call them sickies, and then we also, if we're having a break throughout the day, we call them smoko.
Smoko.
Even, yeah, even if you don't smoke, you call your break during the day a smoko.
Yeah, I don't smoke. I used to, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I also used to drink a lot. Now I don't drink as much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to be able to drink like 15, 16 beers and still be like coherent, like I wasn't drunk enough. I
Yeah,
can't do that anymore. 3 or 4 of them, and I'm starting to feel buzzed.
Same here. I used to be a little alcoholic, and then I got into the fitness game, and that's all changed. And now, if I have a couple of beers, I'm just like, all right, is it 9 o'clock yet? All right, let's go home.
Yep.
Something. Yeah.
Like right now, it's past your bedtime, right? Like you're
Oh,
up later than you usually are.
yeah, bloody yeah. Yeah, I should have been in bed 3-4 hours ago. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you staying up for me, man.
No, that's all good. That's all good.
So what's 2 Up?
2 Up. That is a gambling game that is only legal on Anzac Day. Or it might be Remembrance Day as well, but Anzac Day is the day. What you can do, you get like a board. You put 2 coins on it, and everyone bets if it's going to be heads or 2 heads, 2 tails, or 1 of each. And if you win, you take the whatever it lands like that. They flip the coins, whatever the 2 coins land on. Whoever's put money on that combination takes the money.
And it's only legal one day of the year?
One day of the year. It is a game that the troops played back on, the Anzac troops played back in World War One, I believe, and they brought it back to Australia, and yeah, they made it like that. It is just legal. I think some of the casinos got like some sort of gambling license with it that they could do their own version of it. Whatever, they paid the RSL a lot of money to do that. But yeah, if you want to play it outside of that, you have to play it in an RSL or whatever on Anzac Day.
Yeah. We have something called Flip Cup. Have you ever heard of Flip Cup? It's similar to that kind of. It's not really a betting game. It's just who can flip the cups the quickest and get them to land. Right. So thongs.
Thongs. What they are. It's funny because last time I was in America, I got sort of a bit told off because I was looking for thongs, and I was walking around going, do you guys have any thongs? Where can I find your thongs? To getting dirty looks. Now, thongs for us are what you guys would call flip-flops.
Yep.
But you guys over there, you guys call thongs your G-string type underwear.
Yes.
Yeah. So here I am walking around like Walmart and all that sort of stuff, asking, "Oh yeah, do you have thongs? Where's your thongs?" Because I'm just a dumb Australian that just speaks Australian.
Man, I can't imagine like walking around here using the kind of slang that you guys use there, because so much of it is offensive or just like weird stuff here.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you guys do have G-strings and thongs there, though, right?
Yeah, and we just call them G-bangers.
All right. G-bangers. Just like I don't know what. Do you guys do like bangers on the Barbie and stuff like that, or like
Yeah, bangers and mash, or we call them
bangers and
snags over here as well.
snags?
Like a sausage is a snag. So yeah, we'll say, oh yeah, chuck a couple of snags on the barbie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just call it barbecuing or grilling.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're pretty simple around here. We don't do too many slang terms. So man, yeah, I really appreciate you coming on here, and you know, this is always fun to me. I love talking to people, whether it's social media, celebrities, comedians, it don't matter. So I really appreciate you taking time to come on here with me.
No, that's all good. That's all good. I don't mind at all. It's been good.
Yeah. Have you ever done anything like this before?
Oh, little bits of it here and there, but nothing. Not speaking to a crazy American from the middle of state.
Good. I feel good. Well, man, you know, where can everybody find you besides on social media? You got any websites or anything like that?
At the moment, I don't have a personalised website. I've only, pretty much just running off the socials at the moment. Shortblokejosh on just about every social platform. Yeah, and if they want to book me in or contact me or anything like that, yeah, jump on those. Slide into my DMs. Don't send me a dick pic because I'll I'll cry because it's probably bigger than mine.
Have you actually got dick pics?
Yeah. I unfortunately, when you got high numbers, you get high amounts of nudes and dick pics and stuff sent to you. I mean, I don't mind some of the nudes when they're female, but like,
of course.
Yeah. Like I'm not going to complain about them, but like it comes with the territory. Like when the bigger your account, or whatever, you sort of get more trolls and more dick pics and more all that sort of stuff. But it's at the same time, it's all water off the duck's back for me. I'm just like, well, that's some person that's bored at home looking for someone to try and get a reaction out of, and I'm just like, well,
yeah,
good on you. You've got a dick that's bigger than mine. I don't care, type thing.
I do notice the larger following I'm getting, I start seeing a lot of bots. You know, like you'll see half naked chicks that don't. It's not. You can tell it's not even an account. It's like nothing there.
Yeah, 100%. It is someone from the middle of Africa or wherever, and they've got 50 of those accounts running, and as soon as someone reacts to it, then they can talk to them and try and scam them out of money or whatever. Try and fall in love with them and say, "Oh, I'm going to marry you," and
send me some money.
Yeah. I need you to fly me over to your country for $5,000.
Realistically, it probably costs like $1,200.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm never going to come.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you get some sleep. I'll put all of your social medias in the description of the show. I'll even send you a link because do you guys have Spotify and Apple and all that out there too?
Yeah.
So that'll be up today as well. So audio versions of this and everything, so you can share it.
Awesome. No worries.
All right, man. Well, we will be in touch. You have a good night. All right.
Yeah, you too. You have a good day. Thanks for that.
Yeah, of course, man. Later.